G'day, my name's Nick Samios. I am the candidate for the seat of Carrara at the upcoming federal election for the Lib Dems, and this is...
I'm John Ruddick. I'm the Senate candidate for New South Wales Liberal Democrats.
As you can see, we're at the Hornsby Fountain. There's the iconic fountain behind us. Come and meet us and say g'day. Look, there's going to be a few things that you can talk to us about anything, of course, but we'd like to maybe challenge you. We should lift the ban on nuclear energy. Now, whenever I say we should lift the ban on nuclear energy, I always get three pushbacks, and I'll go through them one at a time. The first pushback is we can't afford it. And I say, well, we're not asking the government to pay for it. Let's lift the ban, let the free market pay for it. You know?
Well, look, the people say, look, it takes 10 or 20 years to come online. Well, we should have done this 10 or 20 years ago. I think it can be done much quicker these days. You know the British Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, who's been really hardcore into the Green Revolution, etc., etc. He's just this week come out and said that Britain is going to bring back their nuclear power energy. It's happening all around the world. I think it's inevitably going to happen in Australia at some point. And yeah, we should be the world leader in it. We've got all this uranium.
Absolutely. Well, the thing is, France, 70% of France's power comes from it. So the first thing is they say it'll cost too much. We're saying let the investors decide. It'll go to the free market. And if investors don't want to invest, they won't invest. It's not your problem, the taxpayer's problem. It'll be the investor's problem. So forget about cost too much. We've done that.
Yeah.
That's out. The next thing is they say it's too dangerous. Now I say, well, that's okay. We'll give investors a license or some set of rules. Do you know what, John? We let people build 60-storey buildings in the city of Sydney. It's not a willy-nilly thing. You would think that's unsafe, but we give them a set of rules, a set of parameters, and it's monitored by authorities. Why can't we do the same with nuclear?
Well, mate, look, 100%. Now, all we're saying the only role we want government to have is to get out of the way. There are billion-dollar companies all around the world who want to invest in nuclear energy. The government gets out of the way, and the free market wants to do it. Let's do it.
So, cost too much? Done that.
Yes.
Dangerous? Done that.
Yes.
Now, another one is it'll take too long. Now, you've kind of addressed that. I say, if we lift the ban and we put in the regulations and all the rest of it, never mind it'll take too long. That's the investor's decision. You know what, if it's going to take too long, no one will invest, and what are you worried about? But John, something that we didn't say earlier on when we talked about the cost, of course, we want subsidies. We're not asking the government to pay, but we don't want the government to pay for any subsidised energy bills.
No, not at all.
Don't subsidise wind, don't subsidise solar, let the market decide.
Let the government be neutral. Let's have an all of the above energy solution. Now, if people are concerned about carbon emissions, well, what they should do is they should use energy sources that don't use carbon emissions. Now, the best energy source, Nick, to reduce carbon emissions is nuclear energy.
Thank you.
We should be making this a national crusade, get it up and running, and secure Australia's long-term energy needs.
Now, John, the last thing I want to address before we sign off is, actually, there's two more things I wanted to address. I always get thrown at me Fukushima and Chernobyl. And I then say, do you have any examples in the last 50 years? Because you want to compare, I think Fukushima was built in 1972. That's 50 years ago. Chernobyl was built in 1967. That's more than 50 years ago. Now, we're not comparing nuclear technology from 1967 with wind power technology from 1967. That's the first thing. And the other thing is, give me an example of a nuclear energy plant that's caused a problem that was built in the last 50 years. The technology advances, even really recently, where they're now on the brink of an advance where they can actually reuse the waste. So I'm not a people say, you're not a scientist. I'm not a scientist. That's why I say, let scientists make the rules. But we're not, forget about Fukushima and Chernobyl, it's old tech.
Look, in Fukushima, you had an earthquake 9 on the Richter scale. You then had a very serious tsunami. Both hit the Fukushima plant. And look, it wasn't messy, but I think less than a handful of people actually died, so it wasn't that dangerous.
Well, I think Fukushima was older than you, John. Right. That's not saying much. It was younger than me. Now listen, John, one last very little shout out is Thursday. We've got a lunch.
Yes,
It's in Parramatta. We're calling it low flat taxes and free markets. We're going to have David Lionholm, legend of the party, as the MC. Ross Cameron's going to chair a panel of all our League Senate candidates, including himself, Campbell Newman, David Limbrick, Canel Tonkin, and Kate Fantanell. And we're going to have Brian Marlow, who's the president of the Australian Taxpayers Alliance, giving a budget reply. He's going to sock it to them. The budget's coming out Tuesday. Let's see what the Australian Taxpayers Alliance has to say. See you later. Come and join us down here.